Hey everybody, Steve here. So part 3 of the World Expo in Dubai. We got 11 countries to look at today. This is the central courtyard area. They have concerts and stuff out there. And it's a nice little sky bridge thing that goes up. They got trees on it. I'm not sure why, but nice little open area. They have concerts out there. I think the Black Eyed Peas came out there, or maybe that was in the center. I think that was where they were. Canada, for all you Canada folks, I didn't make it in there because the line, again, was so long and it was starting to get hot. I was starting to wear it out at this point. I did get into the Philippines. Pretty big displays in here, and you just kind of walk through. It wasn't like a line you had to wait in. So it's kind of a neat little indoor-outdoor type setup. Walked in, and some kind of dreamlike music, and it's like we're going to the land of Oz, Emerald City, something here. Not sure what was going on. Very dreamlike. Big thing of trees, and I think a big thing of this was like sustainability and environmental issues and things like that. So I've never been to the Philippines, so I hope to see it one day. I heard it's pretty amazing. So, videos, and walking through, and it's kind of felt like I was in a dream here. Can't quite make that out. This is kind of a DNA helix kind of setup here within a curtain. Kind of walk through it here. Yeah, this is something. Keep my big fat thumb out of the picture. One of these days I'd like to see it. So then I was headed outside. This is kind of a view from the common area, kind of the sidewalk. There's that spinning platform that rises up. Nice views, all kind of date palms everywhere. So somebody asked what was going to happen with this after the expo. It's going to be a mixed commercial, residential area. So it's Malaysia. I tried to go into Malaysia. Again, the line was too long. It was just crowded and hot that day. It's Korea. I heard they had some kind of Squid Games thing, so the line there was just always probably the longest anything. So Nepal, was thinking about that Eddie Murphy movie, The Golden Child. Viva Nepal! So really cool stuff. I would like to see Nepal one day. North of India. It's about as close as I've come to it when I was working in India. It just really, high, up in the mountains, and really, really something. I'd like to see it one day. Really cool stuff there. Statue of the Buddha. They've got, everything's just so ornate. These are some models of wagons that they have for ceremony. So it's a wagon with wagons on it. So apologize for that noise. I'm washing some clothes there. Sounds like that washing machine is about to come through the wall. This giant coin here, that's one coin. I'm not sure how much that's worth. It's a model of it, obviously, but it's like a giant coin. Next up is the Oman. If you can read that on the sign there. And Will spent some time in Oman with the Navy. He actually went there. They paid for him to go in the summer of 17, I think it was. With a little sanitizer with frankincense, which I thought was kind of cool. A lot of frankincense there. It's kind of a, so this frankincense is mixed in that stuff. the steam there, I guess. It wasn't really steam, it was just kind of... Anyway, this is Oman. That was kind of nice. They put on a good show here. Nice little central area. Sorry about the noise. Washing some pants. So it was part of ancient Egypt, I guess, the kingdom maybe, back in the day is what that looked like. This was kind of neat. Yeah, Will said he had a really good time in Oman. Said that the people were super friendly, really nice. They're a little not so oil rich as some of their neighbors, so they have to think of other things to bring in industry and all. So I've actually flown into Oman. Of course, I've seen Oman from the top of the Jebel Hafid mountain here in UAE. But I'd like to get over there and look around. It's the capital city, Muscat. Lots of agriculture. A lot of these countries really pushing their agriculture. This was some kind of seed display, germinating thing here. That was kind of neat. This is Syria, which I thought was interesting. Big display here on the alphabet, some ancient alphabet. I'm not sure if that's Sanskrit or cuneiform or something like that. Ancient alphabet, and make a point about that. Yeah, this was really kind of neat to come into these countries. Of course, you see on the news and everything else going on, and you know, to come in here and get some different perspective, you know, kind of how they see themselves. Not so much propaganda, but just, I don't know, it's different, you know. It's kind of nice to see with your own eyes and see the people and see the things. You know, everybody's got their spin on stuff, I suppose. Some art, a lot of art. Displaying, these are some Syrian artist pictures. Not sure I'd hang anything like that up in my house. It's a little scary at night seeing that, but. And this right here, they commissioned all these little, so they had like over 1,500 people decorate these plaques, and they put them all up, and it's basically, it just kind of humanizes. It's like, hey, we're people here too. You can pause that and read that if you'd like. But it was all the Syrian people. They asked them to do these from all over, and they gathered them up, and you can see, you know, different themes. And that one right there, there's Assad. So I guess he's the ruler in Syria. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You know, that's all my travels in the world. I mean, people are people, you know. So this is Palau, a little small island out in I think it's out in the Indian Ocean. I just thought it was cool, these little island nations. And obviously the connection with the sea. Yeah, so this is where it's at. Well, actually it's out in the Pacific. So right, looks like north of New Guinea. So yeah, these countries like this, it'd be great to go and see this. Something else. That's my washing machine beeping at me. Sorry. Don't check your phone. Yeah. So these again, it's not the huge, you know, displays in these small countries like this. I mean, it's just here's what we are, here's what we got, here's what we're about. Looking for investment, looking for people to take a look at them and go, hey, you know, this guy's got it going on. So I'm guessing. Okay, then there's Haiti, and I went in there and I was really curious about this because man, poor Haiti. Man, these guys just between earthquakes, they just can't seem to get a leg up. I was just curious what they had in here, what they were kind of, what industry is in Haiti, and the resilient. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. They certainly have been through a lot, hurricanes, and they just deforestation, and I mean you can look at a satellite picture of them and the Dominican Republic right next to them, and it's just it's pretty stark. So this was a little bit of what they. I thought that was kind of an interesting carving there. Shoes and bags, and not really much about industry. Angola. Now I flew into there back in 1999, and on a mission with the U.S. Air Force, and we stopped in the capital city to offload some stuff for embassy support or something. We were only there a short amount of time, just a couple hours, and they were going through civil war at that point. And that was in 1999. It appears that they've kind of gotten out of that now, and things are kind of stabilizing, but it was just surreal there. I mean, everything cost so much money because they had to fly everything in because the rebels pretty much controlled the rest of the country. So it's just interesting to see, kind of where they've come to now. I'm talking a lot about their language here, unique language. Yeah, Africa, I always thought about Africa, you kind of look at it and go, okay, yeah, it's like about the size of the, you just don't realize how big Africa is. Africa is, you can fit the United States into like a third of the continent of Africa. I mean, it took us 3 weeks to fly the mission. Well, it took basically 2 weeks of mission to fly around Africa. It's just insane. I mean, how big Africa is. This is Peru. I thought this was kind of neat with the rope bridge here, talking about how they make it and all these rope bridges that they have all over the gorges and rivers and everything else running through Peru. It's pretty interesting. Like that bridge in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time in South America in my Air Force. Yeah, thank you. Going this way. In my Air Force days, I did stop in Peru just for gas, and Chile, and for quick stops. Just I don't think I ever spent the night in South America. So. Again, this is Peru. Talking about, I read an interesting book. 1491 was the name of the book, and it was basically talking about life before the Europeans came to the New World, and it was talking about what was like in the New World, and they really talked a lot about South America and how advanced they were, and the countries there, the Aztecs and the Mayans and all that, and their cities and how large they were, and they think there's studies now to say that the cities were just giant, were like hundreds of thousands of people lived in these cities, and it's really a fascinating book. Because it talks about that and just how everything had to kind of line up. I mean, the disease spread, because there were stories about Europeans coming over to the U.S., well, to North America, and how crowded it was with Native Americans. And of course, disease got introduced, and it killed off a lot of the Native Americans, and that's how they were able to get a foothold in the New World. Because before that, I mean, there would have been no way. They just didn't have enough people if they would have ganged up on them. So it was just a fascinating book, but how advanced those cultures were down there. So yeah, it's really interesting read. So yeah, this was kind of a neat display Peru here. So I went around, and at this point I was pretty wore out, so I'm walking out, and on the way out I see this band. Now, you listen, you hear that bagpipe going, and looking right up, it probably on the right side, the group on the right side, to the right of the drums. That's a conch shell that he's blowing on. So I heard that, I'm like, is that a bagpipe? Pretty catchy. So anyway, I've moved around and got a picture of the guy, and here he is. I just thought that was just the coolest thing. I mean, here's this bagpipe guy playing in an Arab band, and he's got these cool shades on, and I'm just like, man, he is too cool. So I drove back to Abu Dhabi, and I went to lunch at Galito's and got me some peri-peri chicken. Man, that stuff is good. Arlene loves this too, so that's what I had for lunch. Man, that's tasty. So hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.